Welcome to In Defense Of, where we take a television show, movie, concept, character, or idea and defend them from internet haters. I am your host, the Fat Mantis, and today we defend DC Comics' Charles Chuck Brown, aka Kite Man, who is heavily featured on the animated series Harley Quinn. It is critically acclaimed. That is correct. All 5 people who have seen the series seem to love it, and I bet you will too. Harley Quinn follows Harley Quinn as she navigates through the DC universe, meeting up with heroes and villains and screwing them over. Similar to Seinfeld, everyone who ever has any dealings with her regret the day they met her. Many consider the series to be the absurdly comedical sequel to Batman the Animated Series, as many of the characters are both visually and character-wise portrayed very similarly. With that exact spin, most characters took artistic license on some of these ideas. I need to issue this warning right now. If you have not seen Harley Quinn Season 1 and 2, that is a total of 26 25-minute episodes, then you need to stop this video. You need to go to either DC All Access or HBO Max and watch this series. I promise you, after 2 episodes, you will not want to put it down and continue watching. It is very binge-worthy. But this is as spoily as a video about Harley Quinn can possibly get. I'll give you a moment to turn it off. Now that you've come back and you're ready to enjoy this, we need to discuss why Kite Man needs defending in the first place. Kite Man ends up being the lover and eventual fiancé of Poison Ivy. However, at the end of Season 2, he's left at the altar as Ivy and Harley run off to engage in a crime spree and lesbian love affair. That's right, very scandalous. However, on the internet, there are certain forces who believe that Kite Man is to blame for the implosion of his own relationship, claiming that he forced the relationship on Poison Ivy, and I am here to defend my man. I mean, come on, it's not enough that his relationship implodes, you also have to steal his dignity. My first argument is a very simple one. Men are dense. I know a lot of people like to, particularly women, like to speak in riddles or games. However, men simply do not get it, and we usually need things spelled out for us. Argument number 2. This is a very important thing, and if you get any concepts from love, loss, and relationship from this video, this is the one to get. People are not psychic. This is the most common mistake in both sexes when it comes to relationships. We always assume our partners understand what we need, but that's not true. We need to definitively tell our partners how we want or need to be loved. Also, we should also tell them how we don't want to be loved. Now, in case of Poison Ivy and Kite Man, it is very clear that throughout the series, Poison Ivy was not clear about how she needed to be loved or what kind of space she needed. She was downright deceptive when it comes down to it. In episode 203, Trapped, after initially rejecting his marriage proposal, Ivy goes to his apartment at the end of the episode, and he tells her, "I understand you need as much time as you need, and I will give it to you as long as you want." And however, she insists that he attempt to try to give her a proposal again. He does so, and she says yes. In episode 211, A Fight Worth Fighting, he offers to postpone the wedding because the parademon scourge that's plaguing the city is there, and he says maybe we should wait till all this crisis is over. However, she insists on getting married that very weekend. And in episode 213, The Runaway Bridesmaid, this is after Dr. Psycho has implanted the psychic image of Harley and Poison Ivy making love, at her bachelorette party. Ingrained in this man's mind. He calls off the wedding, and does he get aggressive? Does he get angry? Is he a misogynist about it? No, he's not. He falls into depression and sadness and just thinks of himself as a loser. And he's like, it's a shame it didn't work. However, Ivy goes and convinces him to still get married. This does not seem like the behavior of someone being forced to do anything. Number 3, I believe that in fact, Ivy was actually happy until she decided to explore her other side of her sexuality. And this being said, here examples are in episode 112, The Devil's Snare, when Harley confronts Ivy about a secret relationship with him, Ivy literally stands and she even says, "I love him." She uses the word "I love Kite Man." And she had no reason to lie because Kite Man wasn't present. Out season 2, she continues to speak when he's not around, pleasantly and positively about it, talking him up and boasting to him. She does it to Catwoman, she does it to some Amazonians in Themyscira, she does it to her entire posse throughout the entire series. She does it to Kite Man's own parents. And she even, at various episodes, engages in schmoopy talk, and you know what I mean, what schmoopy talk is, in front of her friends, even though it's grossing them out. This seems like a woman who is actually happy. So at no time could any man possibly perceive that she was unhappy in this situation. Reason number 4 he is not to blame is because he can't be to blame, because no one is to blame. Now, I know we like to look back at our old relationships and old things that didn't work out, and we like to blame the other person. We always think of ways that they failed us and how we are completely innocent in everything that we've done. But the real truth of the matter is that probably 95% or more of relationships are caused, the downfall, by both parties, aka no one is to blame. That if you really look back on it, you had flaws and they had flaws and it just didn't work out. It's a tragedy. At the end of this story, Poison Ivy turns out to be a lesbian. That is no one's fault, but it certainly isn't Kite Man's, because she was lying to herself about who she was, and she's lying so well that he couldn't have possibly seen it. And I want you to think about this in your other relationships. It is possible that we are all to blame, and that we should all realize that we are all guilty in the implosions of any of our relationships. On a final thought, I'd like to point out that a lot of people will sometimes look at this concept of the Kite Man, this smooth talking guy who is trying to trick or manipulate a woman into a relationship that she possibly doesn't want, and that he's a trickster and he's a master manipulator. But the truth is it possible that before he wants to manipulate you into going down the aisle or manipulate you into coupling, maybe he just wants to get to know you? That maybe he's not guilty of anything other than wanting to know you. And that maybe if Ivy and Kite Man had taken time to get to know each other first, that relationship could have either worked out, or she could have discovered who she truly was before they decided to do such a disastrous thing. Love is a game, it's a battlefield, it's a lot of things. Hopefully, it's a lovely, amazing experience, even if it doesn't work out. And I hope you all, when you engage that, think about these things, and think about this poor schmuck, Kite Man, that maybe no one is to blame in this whole thing. And that it's good that they had that relationship. But that is all that I have for you folks. I hope this didn't spoil too much of you. It shouldn't spoil anything, because I'm sure every one of you have watched all 26 episodes. So there it is. Am I wrong on this one? Is it really Kite Man completely at fault? Or maybe I'm wrong and it is completely Poison Ivy's fault? Please let me know in the comments. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and keep tuning into Voice of the Fat Mantis for more things in which I'm going to defend. Until next time, ciao for now.